I'm no one to talk about this may have been her cause of death, but IV injections, especially for anti-aging, are not regulated by any medical government body. There could be allergic reactions and a person could die. There could be infection and sepsis and a person can die. There can be, kidney or liver failure, right? When you take all these things and you don't even know what's in it, you're blindly just taking them. You're just playing with your life. But when you cross the limit and you start doing 5,000, 10,000 milligrams, or you start getting an injection every alternate day, that's not right.
Can an anti-aging injection lower down your BP to an extent where you might pass away as well?
Can an anti-aging injection lower your BP? It can cause an electrolyte imbalance, right? And a low potassium can take your life.
When she was in Bigg Boss, we did see that she used to smoke.
Nicotine will increase the free radicals in your skin, in your body, speedens up the process of aging, not just of the body, but also of the skin.
I remember when Devi passed away, again, this issue was raised that she also went through a lot of treatments and a lot of things were done to her face.
So if you do it the right way, absolutely no problem. But if you're trying a shortcut, you will bear the consequences sometime or the other.
Hi, Dr. Jaishree. How have you been? Welcome to FPJ.
Thank you. I've been good.
Lovely. Of course, you do know about the death of actress Shefali Jariwala that happened on Friday night, and there are so many reports coming out now that it was maybe happening due to the anti-aging drugs that she was taking for 7, 8 years, and on the day of her death in the afternoon, she took an anti-aging injection. That's what the recent police reports say. As somebody who's been, as somebody who's been an expert in this field for so many years, what is your opinion on this?
First of all, my condolences to her family. It's really a sad thing to happen. I thought it was cardiac arrest. That's what I had read, but I'm not aware of this injection thing. But since you're talking about it, I'm no one to talk about this may have been her cause of death, but IV injections, especially for anti-aging, are not regulated by any medical government body. It's not FDA approved, it's not CE approved. We do not know what ingredients are there in most of these injections that are available. Social media is glamorizing it, and then you have if some influencer promotes it, then people just think, oh, it's good. In the name of anti-aging today, you can sell anything, and that's the sad state of affairs. Um, we don't know the batch of the drugs, we don't know the composition, we don't know. You may say it's glutathione, and then there are 10 other things added to it. I've seen boxes where patients have come to me and said, doc, will you inject this for me? And I'm like, no, I won't, because I've seen like 10,000 mg of glutathione and this much collagen and alpha lipoic and so many different ingredients which are not even validated. There is no research, there is no evidence-based data, and you're putting it directly into your blood. There is no filter there, right? There's no barrier. And what is happening to the world? You can just sell things in the name of detox and anti-aging, and it's really sad.
I'm sure, deal with a lot of people, a lot of celebrities, and we have this common thing going on right now where celebrities set these beauty standards and we always think it's real. But now people have started coming out and talking about what they get done to their faces, Botox, and so many injections, fillers, all of that. Do you think we need to draw a line somewhere because it's getting out of hands now, maybe?
See, when you talk about things like Botox and fillers, botulinum toxin. Okay, it's a neurotoxin which has been there in the industry for over 30 years now, and it is well regulated. There's a lot of scientific evidence. The effect lasts for about 4 months. It cannot kill a person. However, the therapists, you have technicians, you have um, trainers, you just name the person and the person is injecting. And when you don't know the science and the anatomy, and there's a lot of um, you need to understand a person's anatomy, and you need to know how much dosage, which muscle, where, what is the depth, how many units. And when you are not a qualified person and you just do calculated math,
Yeah.
you can go wrong, right? It's not going to kill you, but you
Mhm.
will have some wonky face or something for about 4 months. So that is one thing. It takes 2,500 units of botulinum toxin to kill somebody, but one never injects more than 100. I mean, in our clinics, in our practices, never more than 40. So, that does not happen. But fillers, when you're talking about, again, very, very, specific, a person who is a qualified dermatologist or plastic surgeon or aesthetic physician with a lot of training, and an aesthetic sense needs to inject fillers. And the key is always less is more, like Botox. So overfilling and making the face look really artificial, and the face is not moving because the muscles are unable to move. And then over a period of time, that filler is hyaluronic acid, it swells, it absorbs water. So you see these distorted faces. So again, everything needs to be done very aesthetically, and you just need to do very little amounts, which is not happening. Why? Again, because either the person who's injecting is not qualified enough. I have seen you know degrees, I wouldn't name them, but they are not even MBBS doctors, okay, but they have written MD dermatology. They have no license. So, and then people, in the name of, oh, this is cheaper, or oh, this celebrity did it here, so let me go and do it. There are these swanky clinics, and the doctor's degrees are fake. All right. Or some aesthetician is doing it, some beautician is doing it, somebody has done a 3-month course somewhere. You can't.
Yeah.
We've done 5.5 years of MBBS, 3 years of post graduation in dermatology. Then we've done, fellowships, and then a lot of training, and it's ongoing. So you can't play with your faces. But the real fear is all these IV injections. Absolutely not regulated. People go to houses and inject. Okay,
Yeah.
any nurses inject, any therapist or technician is injecting, any person from a salon or spa is injecting.
Mm.
um, you're not checking the blood levels, you're not checking the parameters, what is the physical condition of that person. There could be allergic reactions and a person could die. There could be infection and sepsis and a person can die. you know there can be kidney or liver failure, right? When you take all these things and you don't even know what's in it, you're
Yeah.
blindly just taking them. uh, you're just playing with your life. So one needs to be very, very safe, and make sure whatever IV injection, it has to be a proper, first of all, it has to be done in a hospital or a clinic. Second off, you have to be thoroughly investigated to check if your body is okay to be able to tolerate those injections. Third, are they regulated in it? And you're overdosing yourself. You're taking so much, glutathione, vitamin C, that is there, but now NAC, okay, you know. So, and then there are all these other things, so many other collagen injections. Where is the science? You know, You just say anti-aging, you just say detox, and no, it doesn't work that way.
I heard till the last point that you mentioned. I just have a quick doubt as somebody who, of course, a lot of people who will be watching this do not have so much knowledge about what these injections are and what happens. Now, I just want to understand if you say these injections are not regulated and somewhere not even approved by the government, how are they still so easily available in the market?
Okay, now when you talk of glutathione, okay, it is approved. It is available as 600 milligram, like a vial of 600 milligrams. Um, it is given for liver disorders, and now over a period of time also for skin, but we still don't have enough scientific data. Okay. So injecting up to maybe 600 milligrams, 1200 milligrams, okay, under supervision after doing all the blood tests is okay. But when you cross the limit and you start doing 5,000, 10,000 milligrams, or you start getting an injection every alternate day, that's not right. So that's even if the
Oh,
drug is approved. You can have any approved drug, but you're overdosing,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
That is one thing. So the second one are these, non-regulated injections, glutathione 10,000 milligram with vitamin C 5,000 milligram with, alpha lipoic acid and collagen injection and so many, the NAC and the NAD and all of these, which are coming from sources which we do not know. Okay, there are some websites, I may not be able to name them, but if you just Google, you get these injections very easily online, and you just Google it. Once I had done it just to check, and I got this website, and I said, okay, I want this. I wanted to see. Okay, I had at least 20 people calling me saying, we will provide this for you, we will provide it for you, we're getting it from this Korea, we're getting it from Switzerland, we're getting it from China, God alone knows what. Even things like Botox and fillers, so obviously it's all fake.
Yeah.
And then people buy it because it comes at like one-fourth the cost.
Oh God.
And then you have some random person coming to your house and injecting you.
Yeah.
And then social media is anyway glamorizing it.
When they say
It's
that
very
it indeed is, and now that you're explaining it to me in a simpler language, I am myself scared because if this is how easy it is, and I do know that there are compounders who charge 500 rupees and they come home and they inject these things. Because even I had made a phone call just to check what happens. And they said, yeah, yeah, if you have the injection, they won't even check what it is. They were like, 500 rupees lagenge and hum घर आके कर देंगे. So that is the level of, scariness we've reached. But when the report mentions that this has happened to Shefali because she took the injection, she was also fasting that day due to some puja till 3 p.m. And that, shot up, like her BP completely shot down. And that is the cause of her demise. That is what is being said. How are these things related? Can an anti-aging injection low down your BP to an extent where you might pass away as well?
Um, see, again, unless you have a forensic report, we can't say whether this has killed her or what. I mean, but if you put this aside and say, can an anti-aging injection lower your BP? It can cause an electrolyte imbalance,
Okay.
right? And a low potassium can take your life. It can cause, some sort of a anaphylaxis, which can take your life. See, infection, sepsis, kidney failure, all of that happens later. But these things can happen. A cardiac, issue can happen.
Yeah.
So you need to be careful because, again, coming back to the same thing, these are unregulated drugs which are so easily available. There's no evidence, there's no scientific data. You just have, some reel which is trending and everybody is talking about it, and then you just go and blindly do it. Even treatments, even certain devices and treatments and whatever, it's a sad state of affairs. One needs to be very, very cautious when you're putting in anything into your mouth or taking it, through a drip. And
Yeah,
remember, when you're taking it through a drip, there is no barrier.
that
There's
is true.
no there is no kidney or liver flushing out the toxin. See, people think, oh, and flushing out the toxin is an enema. No, no, that's wrong. We have our liver and kidney which are flushing out our toxins.
Another point that was mentioned was when she was in Bigg Boss, we did see that she used to smoke because there was another smoking room that was made. A lot of people are raising this point again that because of smoking, her skin needed these injections and these anti-aging drugs because smoking makes your skin bad. Now, this thing we have heard since we were little kids that, bade hoke smoke nahi karna because your lips will get black, your cheeks will get, very pale. Are these things actually true?
Yeah, of course. Of course, it's true because nicotine will increase the free radicals in your skin, in your body, and over a period of time, it will degrade the collagen and the elastin fibers. So there is skin laxity, there are wrinkles. It will increase the melanin content, the eumelanin in your skin. So you will have blotchy skin, dark circles, dark lips. It speedens up the process of aging, not just of the body but also of the skin. And you do have all these issues. And so why should you even, if you are in the business where your skin needs to look good, you need to follow a good routine, you need to eat healthy, you need to stay away from all these sinisters like smoking, alcohol, you know uh, weed and whatever, and take care of your skin in a more holistic way.
That is true.
And
You
then
know,
otherwise you try all these shortcuts, you know which I don't know. I also see a lot of people taking random steroid injections. And the other day a gentleman was taking prolactin because the health coach has given prolactin, and I was like, I mean, cabergoline for raised prolactin, and I'm like, why would you do that? Please consult with an endocrinologist. you know
yeah.
Even I wouldn't give it as a dermatologist.
You know, of course, you have expertise in this field for so long, and you have, I'm sure, dealt with so many patients where they have come to you and demanded for something very excessive, and you have said that no, I won't be able to do that. I remember when Sri Devi passed away, again, this issue was raised that she also went through a lot of treatments and a lot of things were done to her face, which led to her taking a lot of steroids, a lot of anti-aging drugs. This issue was raised even back then, but of course it was shut because it was accidental drowning is what, it was reported the cause of her death. What do you think? Because as somebody who's of course so experienced in this field, do you think these things later on in your life, if you overdo it, it come back and impacts you health way?
I think anything that you overdo will come back and impact you. Even if you take a vitamin B or a vitamin A and you overdose, you're going to have an issue, right? So anything, it comes back to the same thing. If your doctor is ethical enough and you're seeing a proper, qualified, trained doctor who knows, what the dosage should be, what are the intervals, is this drug actually evidence based, well tested, well tried, is it a legal drug or not? It comes back to that. So if you do it the right way, absolutely no problem. But if you're trying a shortcut and just looking at social media and buying your stuff online without any regulation and using anything, whether it's a tablet or a capsule or a IV injection or a sublingual or whatever, you know, um, you will bear the consequences sometime or the other.
Okay, got it. Lastly, of course, before we wrap this conversation, as a a dermat, what would your number one advice be to all the young people watching this? Because as somebody who's I'm myself, in my later 20s, and I keep on getting so influenced by people going and getting injections and lip fillers. And sometimes I feel, ek lip injection le lete hain and all of that. But, I feel once you start, there's no end to this. So what would your number one advice to all the youngsters today be who are so influenced by social media?
First of all, start loving yourself, embrace your skin color, lead a very holistic life. Eat well, eat healthy, avoid the sugars, avoid late nights. I may be sounding like a granny here because since it's to the youngsters, it's true.
Yeah, it is.
Today I was telling you, today's my 30th anniversary. I was married when I was 21, you can imagine. But I haven't done any of these things up until maybe 10 years ago. See, there's no harm in doing a little bit of Botox. I mean, I do a little Botox for my frown lines. The lips get thinner and you want to do a little bit. If you do it the right way, there's no harm. But you are far too young. So this is not the age to experiment with your
Yeah,
body. This is the time when you nurture your body, you help it grow, you build your immunity. I see people doing simple things like 10 different types of skin care, the Korean skincare routine, and you know trying so many supplements, and I mean so many devices and at home devices, and they're people in their early 20s, late teens. And I'm really shocked because this is the time when you want your skin immunity to build.
yeah,
So if you eat healthy and you take basic care by using a good moisturizer, good sunscreen, avoiding all you know, the smoking and the alcohol and the sugars and all of that, exercise. Stress is again a major, major factor. I don't know why youngsters stress so much. You have to learn to cope with stress. So all these things, sleep cycle, sleeping at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. You need to follow the circadian rhythm. That's very important to get your hormones in place. So, and then I'm not saying don't take care of your skin, but do not cross the line.
true. That's so.
There's ample of time for you to do a lot of things. Yes, you need to you can't wait till you're 55 and say, now treat my wrinkles. So at some point, maybe in your mid 30s, you'll start some basic treatments. Maybe a radio frequency or a HIFU or a skin booster, even PRP, but with a qualified dermatologist or professional, only a doctor.
Yeah,
And when you're checking the degrees, I don't know what to say these days because even the degrees on the website are fake. But we have these associations, very valid, like the Indian Association of Dermatology, Venerology, and Leprology, the Association of Cutaneous Surgeons of India. These bodies will not take any non-dermatologist or or a person who's not a plastic surgeon as a member.
yeah,
So if you find that the doctor is a member of these, then most of the time you're safe. But don't go for cheap treatments, and just don't blindly believe in anything natural and organic, and even blindly some pills which are allopathic that you don't even know what they contain. um, I do now, after 45, when I started becoming perimenopausal is when I started having omega-3 and magnesium,
okay.
and calcium. And when my D3 dips, I take D3. Otherwise, I don't. But otherwise, I don't take any supplements. You know. So if your body requires, then you take. I'm not saying no. But if your body doesn't require, if you're not deficient in any of these, then there's no point. And anybody selling you something as, oh, this is anti-aging, take this capsule and you're going to, this is the fountain of youth. No, that's not happening. It has to be holistic. It has to be
Absolutely.
what you eat.
But on that note, thank you so much for joining in and giving your expert advice. I'm sure this, conversation is going to help a lot of young people in fact, people in general watching this understand themselves better and their skin. But thank you for joining in.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome.